quest for some significance of the both dimensional kind. You enter a realm of spirit, of sight and sound and mind. Your radio is a cosmic doorway and your psyche begins to spark. When you tune in to Gary Anderson and Night Dreams After Dark.
Night Dreams Talk Radio, After Dark, wants to give a big shout out to all the truckers that listen to our show. From our compound, from the West Coast to the East Coast to worldwide, both on the internet and terrestrial radio, you're listening to Gary Anderson on Night Dreams Talk Radio, After Dark.
And here I am. And it's definitely After Dark here tonight on a Wednesday. Well, a guy got busted. A mortician got busted. He had, believe it or not, jars and jars of penises. 5,806 penises kept in jars. Can you believe that, James?
I just wonder if he got charged with a felony. A felony, I mean.
Oh, I don't know. He was arrested, but can you think about every male that was evidently coming into that funeral home? He was, well, removing the penis.
What a collection to have. I hope that's just a one of a kind. I'll tell you that. That is something else. That's something you don't take to show and tell too often, do you?
It makes me wonder, I don't want to die after reading that. I'm telling you, I don't want to die. And I don't want my penis in a jar, even if they have a magnifying glass in front of it.
He might have had plans to make a necklace out of him. Think about that. You could have been around somebody's neck.
I have no idea, but I tell you, that is a fetish. Well, the guy in probably in prison. Well, after he goes to court and all that stuff. But I tell you, 5,000 some odd and 86 penises.
That means lot.
5,000, okay, and 86 men were buried without their tools.
Yeah, 86 blows me away, not to mention that on 5,000 more. Out of that, there's got to be at least one unrest spirit over here about this.
No, there's going to be 5,886 unrest spirits. I mean, to be, buried without your penis? I mean, come on. This guy had to be doing it for years. I tell you, maybe he was selling the penises to aliens.
Just the the time it takes to do 5,086, that's got to, like you said, it's got to be done for years. My goodness, that's
well, I don't. It doesn't say how long he's been a mortician, but evidently he's been a mortician for enough to do 5,000 of them and put them in a jar.
Do you imagine all the families that have found out about this and be like, want some kind of compensation? What about the poor guy?
Well, the poor guy needs to be in prison, but maybe one of the other guys that works in the same mortuary, maybe they could have 5,000 and something vaginas in a jar.
Yeah, that people are just bizarre. What drives people to, that's the thing. Some people, morticians or whatever, they're not made to have those jobs because when there's a perfect good reason. I think he took a job like that just to fulfill his little fantasy.
I don't know. The true story. I've been married several times. I met my wife, 43 years married to Linda. Beautiful wife. Beautiful. She snores, but other than that, she's fine. But before I met her, she worked at an Albertson store in the bakery. I had this fetish for maple bars. And I was a manager actually at a department store. They said, I was filling in between jobs in radio, which you have to do quite often to pay the bills. One of the employees said, hey, go over there. They got a deal on maple bars because she knew I had a fetish on them. And I go over there, and it was a hard choice. Do I order a maple bar or do I ask this lady out? And I kept looking at the maple bar. I kept looking at, this, lady. I kept looking at the maple bar and she goes, well, is there something you want? I'm making a decision right now. Don't interrupt me. And she goes, well, did you want a donut or something? I go, no, I'm going to ask you out for a date. And then Linda goes, well, I didn't know her name at the time. She goes, well, why did it take you like 10 minutes to make that decision? I said it was a hard decision between the maple bar and asking you out.
Oh my goodness. What a decision to make right there. I guess you 43 years later, I guess we know what you asked anyway.
Yeah, I still love maple bars. But now, that wasn't the story. The story is, before I met her, and in between my marriage before that and, marrying my wife, I dated this real wealthy girl. And she was really nice looking. I mean, gorgeous. But she was a snob. And she, after we dated a couple months, she even went and had her and her mom wedding invitations made up and a date on them without even telling me. Okay, that's how, she was going to wear the pants in the family. But anyway, one day I'm at their house for dinner. And after dinner, she goes, well, you're going to be working with my father. And I'm going, no, he's a mortician. And then he takes me into the study. He goes, well, I'm going to bring you on as a limited partner. And, later on you'll become a partner, in the business and all that stuff. But you're going to have to learn how to, and I go, learn how what? And then he told me, what I would have to do. And I said, well, can't I do sales? Oh, you'll do sales too, but you're going to have to learn how to embalm bodies.
Oh, boy.
And I sat there, I listened to him. The next day, my fiance, which I didn't even know at the time, calls me up and she goes, well, I guess you guys got it all worked out. You're going to be working with my dad and we're going to get married here next month. And I go, well, I got an issue. I'm not going to marry you next month. And I am no way going to be sticking that big tube down somebody's stomach and sucking out all their juices. I am not going to marry you. And, that was the end of it.
That was the end of that one. That was a deal breaker.
Yeah, that was a deal breaker. But can you imagine you're dead and somebody's sitting there just hacksawing off your penis and putting it in a jar? That is sick.
I can't. It's hard to believe that he hasn't been haunted somewhere along the line in the last, because it's got to be at least 20, 30 years of work going on there. I'm just guessing, but You would think there's an unrest spirit somewhere about this.
Yeah, at least the guy could have been smart. Instead of putting them in formaldehyde and saved them in the jars and stuff, he could have been calling up people in China and say, "Hey, I got penises for sale."
Yeah, not only that, 5,000. He had to have a whole room full of these things. It's not like
I don't know. I don't even know. It doesn't even say how he got busted, but he got arrested. You don't want to. I guess. Well, I don't know. Would somebody cut off your manhood? You're already dead. Doesn't make any difference. But somehow have them a display, and who knows? Why would anybody collect penises of anything? God.
I don't know. It's bizarre. That whole story is bizarre. The guy that did it he's in his own world.
Oh, he's going to be in another world. Do you know what it's going to like if he goes to prison? What do you? Because they're going to know ahead of time when he comes to prison, right? The other prisoners always seem to know that information. Oh, we're going to stay away from this guy named Stan. Why? Well, he loves penises.
That might not be a good thing to go in there.
Maybe what they'll do is when he goes to prison, they might cut his penis off and put it in a cup and give it to him in a cup and say, "Here's your penis."
They might.
Pay back the bitch.
Yeah, that's one reputation I don't think you'd want to go into prison with, is being known as a collector of penises. Just saying.
Well, you know what? Lobster fishermen rescued a deer today, or actually yesterday. The deer was like 5 miles out in the ocean.
Wow.
It's just swimming, in not knowing where it's going. You know how long it would take a deer to swim out 5 miles unless it was in some type of current?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It might have gotten a current and couldn't get back. But, they probably saved the deer's life because they're not known for great swimmers, not to mention 10 miles. If they're out 5 miles, that means that deer had to swim 5 miles back. And it probably wouldn't because it was probably disoriented, so it was just a matter of time before it drowned probably. So, yeah, they probably definitely saved its life.
Well, you remember I was talking about Winston Churchill's gold toilet was stolen and they haven't found it yet?
Yeah.
One of the richest people in Hong Kong had a gold toilet made out of real gold with 40,815 diamonds embedded in the seat alone.
Man, that'd be rough. Diamonds are hard. I wouldn't want to sit on diamonds.
Well, they might have put a clear coat or something over. But anyway, this is the most expensive toilet ever made.
Oh, my goodness. Some people's just got more money and they know what to do with, I'll tell you. That is just, to me, that's like flushing money down the toilet to me, but that's just me.
Well, I don't know. What's wrong with a porcelain toilet? They could have just, I don't know. But 40,815 diamonds?
That's a lot of diamonds.
Yeah. Now, if there's a diamond shortage, we know who did it. Somebody had to, it goes right into their bathroom and their shitter. I can't believe that.
I'm telling you, they must have had a small crew and a little crane lift or something to lift the toilet with all them diamonds and the gold. That's got to be heavy. That's another thing. If it's not on a floor or a level that there's nothing underneath it, what's keeping the weight of that thing from falling through? It's got to be heavy.
Yeah, that's probably more gold than we have in Fort Knox. You know that.
Oh, I'm sure. It sounds like more diamonds than we got down in the diamond section in New York, too.
Well, I wouldn't doubt that. Now, what do you have an interesting story besides a gold toilet or, 30-some thousand penises or whatever it was?
Oh, my God. Well, I've been doing some research on a lot of...
I got one more thing to say. I could have seen it more if it was a woman mortician that hated men that would sit there and cut every penis off and put it in a jar. But never mind. I don't want to go into it anymore. I'm going to have nightmares about penises tonight over this.
Me too. Oh my goodness, you paint an ugly picture sometimes. I got to tell you. But anyway, I've been studying these time vortexes, time slips.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're messing with my subliminal. Dang it. So, but anyway, here's a little case. In 1979, two married couples, they went on vacation in Spain, And while they were driving through France on their way to Spain, they stopped at a hotel. Now, they stayed at this hotel, had dinner there, and they stayed the night. Now, both couples noted that